Up next for you, Al Roker is celebrating the 20th anniversary of having gastric bypass surgery. Hard to believe, right? But today's show weatherman marked the occasion by sharing video of the size 54 jeans that he donned to that surgery.
Appearance in the entertainment industry has never been a small matter. The stage lights not only illuminate talent, but also every contour on the body, every flaw on the face. There are names that step out in front of the public at age 50, 60 with a perfect physique like a sculpted statue. Sharp muscles, flawless face, radiant smile. But few know that behind that captivating exterior are bold surgeries, even risking life. Some edit to keep the beauty of Forever 20. Some change due to the terrifying pressure from fame. Different purposes, but the common point between them is those cosmetic surgeries that stun the whole world. Not every surgery helps them shine brighter, but sometimes opens a chain of tragedies lasting decades. And there are also changes so big that fans no longer recognize their idols. The 9 stories I'm about to tell about these male stars who had plastic surgery. Not to judge, but to dissect the dark corners behind fame, where appearance becomes a life or death battle. 9. Al Roker. The TV icon who transformed spectacularly thanks to a series of gastric bypass and excess skin removal surgeries. Al Roker is the familiar face of the Today Show, the guy who stood in front of the weather map for decades and become an American TV icon. A durable career, solid fame, positive energy are what the public often mentions when talking about him. But few can imagine behind his familiar morning smile is a years-long struggle with a massive body. Stepping into his 40s, Al Roker carried over 330 pounds on him. That heavy body was like a suit of armor made of fat clinging tight, making every step slow, every breath labored, like dragging the weight of work pressure and health worries. On March 15, 2002, Al went into surgery for gastric bypass, a choice that wasn't easy and far from light. At that time, the risk of heart disease and diabetes loomed like dark clouds piling up overhead. Pressure from TV work demanding a flexible appearance made his mind even more stressed. But above all was the promise he once made to his father before he passed, a promise to live healthier, more responsibly for himself. The surgery went smoothly, at least on the medical paperwork. When he woke up, Al entered a completely different phase of life. Weight dropped fast. The numbers on the scale plummeted nonstop. In the first year alone, over 100 pounds of excess fat vanished. Outsiders just saw the dramatic change, but inside was a string of days where the body struggled to adapt. Eating became a strict math problem. The body lacked nutrients, energy up and down unpredictably. On top of that, the sagging skin after the fat was gone became another burden. Skin hanging loose on the belly, chest, arms, dangling like heavy curtains. Every movement was a reminder of the inconvenience, sometimes chafing and uncomfortable, telling him the journey couldn't end there. On April 20th, 2003, Al went into another surgery, this time to remove excess skin. About 11 pounds of spare skin was cut away, not just to make the body slimmer, but to let him move easier, live normally. It wasn't a surgery purely for beauty, but like cleaning up the aftermath of a wave of change too fast, too intense. After those interventions, Al's body gradually stabilized. The familiar chubby image on TV changed, becoming slimmer, more agile, and that meant stricter discipline. Diet controlled tightly, every meal portioned small and chewed slow. Exercise no longer optional, but a required part of life. There were stressful periods in his job that made his weight creep back up, the biggest gain about 40 pounds, jolting him to realize that just a bit of slack and everything could slip out of control fast. Many think surgery done is the end, but for Al, it was just the start. Gastric bypass, then skin removal, not only changed the outer shape, but forced him to face himself, the limits of body and human will. Every day was a battle with the body, old habits, and even the mindset that once tied eating to stress relief. The surgeries changed the exterior quickly, but keeping the results demanded long-term persistence, sometimes bringing fatigue and loneliness. Stepping into his 70s, Al Roker still keeps a stable weight, Health clearly improved compared to his heaviest phase. Even so, a body that's gone through many medical interventions is never fully at peace. On November 18, 2022, he had to be hospitalized for a stomach ulcer, a reminder that his health is still in a harsh chain of challenges. Nowadays, Al often shares his journey as a cautionary and inspirational story, not to brag about weight loss, but to talk about the cost of changing the body with the knife. It's the courage stepping into the OR, the string of struggling days to recover, the unforeseeable complications, and the determination not to quit. 8. Randy Jackson, the powerful music producer who transformed his huge body with a bold gastric bypass, making diabetes surrender. Randy Jackson is the powerful music producer, veteran American Idol judge, the guy behind many big names and leaving a deep mark on pop culture for years. Sitting in that familiar judge's chair was a body once carrying huge weight, over 350 pounds, silently wearing down health every day. At 47, Randy entered a phase where the body constantly sent warning signals. Prolonged fatigue, heavy breathing, exhaustion even when doing nothing, just sitting still. Being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes exposed the consequences of years living rushed, eating irregularly, and a jam-packed work schedule that's suffocating. Randy's family has a history of obesity-related illnesses, making the worry heavier than ever. Every meal no longer joy of enjoyment, but a tug-of-war between old habits and simmering fear. Work swept him into a constant spin, studios, stages, dense flights, leading to fast eating, late eating, eating to get it done. The body ballooned day by day, while health plummeted nonstop. On June 12, 2003, Randy Jackson went into surgery with the gastric bypass decision. This wasn't an impulsive choice, but the last step when all non-surgical weight loss methods failed. The surgery to shrink the stomach, forcing the body to take in less food, a direct and uncompromising solution. Coming off the table, he knew from that moment life wouldn't run on the old track. The first months post-surgery were more painful than he imagined. Eating controlled strictly, every small spoonful the new limit. Body deficient in vitamins, dizziness and fatigue frequent, like reminders that the knife isn't instant magic. Randy had to adjust nutrition rigidly, supplement micronutrients, monitor health closely to not slide into another crisis. Exercise only light, walking, moderate movement, avoiding pressure on the recovering body. Everything happened slowly, cautiously, like walking on thin ice. Luckily, the endured effort brought results. Weight started dropping, numbers on the scale quietly falling. In 18 months, over 115 pounds gone, revealing a slimmer body, but also etched with marks of the harsh change. Sagging skin appeared a lot on arms and chest, belly, but he chose persistent training instead of going under the knife again. Along with the appearance change was clear improvement in diabetes. Indicators gradually stabilized, complication risks controlled. Randy kept the new weight for over 2 decades, an achievement not easy for someone once in the pressure whirl. Even so, stressful work periods still made his weight fluctuate, sometimes up over 20 pounds. In his 60s, Randy Jackson knows well the meaning of weight loss. He shifted focus to gut health, founding a product company to support others in body care journeys. This decision stemmed from personal experiences, from months facing the knife, nutrient deficiencies, and worries of illness surrounding. His story gradually spread, becoming spiritual support for many other celebrities facing weight and health issues. Looking back, the gastric bypass not only changed Randy Jackson's shape, but flipped his whole view of life. It was a journey of trade-offs, where every lost kilogram carried sweat, anxiety, and iron discipline. 7. Smokey Robinson, the Motown legend who unimaginably rejuvenated his face with facelift and Botox. Smokey Robinson is the Motown music icon, voice tied to countless timeless hits, the guy who helped shape soul music's soul and kept lasting appeal for decades on stage. Stepping into his 60s, Smokey Robinson still shone under bright lights, but the body started sending age signals. Every time he stepped on stage, lights hit the face, making wrinkles around eyes and mouth corners clear. Those deep timelines didn't appear in his music, but sat right there on the face, bringing growing insecurity. The entertainment industry's pressure never lets up. Younger artists appearing more, smooth faces, overflowing energy. Comparisons happened silently but constantly surrounding, like cold winds through backstage. Smokey started feeling the gap between his youthful music and a gradually aging look. The desire to keep a fresh appearance, matching those lively melodies, became a strong drive, making him crave appearance change. On April 10, 2005, Smokey Robinson decided to go into surgery. The facelift was done with technique pulling skin from under the ears, a method directly intervening sagging skin areas, plus fillers in cheeks to regain tightness combined with Botox to flatten forehead wrinkles deep up to 3 mm. The whole process could restructure the face where every small detail was adjusted carefully. The first days post-surgery didn't pass lightly. His face swollen, tight-feeling surrounding, making him temporarily leave stages and lights. Rest stretched many weeks, every mirror look a mix of hope and worry. The familiar face gradually revealed changes, stiffer, less expressive, like muscle bundles relearning movement. Time passed, swelling signs subsided, the face started stabilizing, smoother, deep wrinkles almost gone, the rejuvenation effect clear, bringing a look like back about 15 years. When Smokey returned to stage, audiences saw a different image, neater, fresher, brighter than before. Even so, chatter quickly appeared. Many said the new face looked stiff, lacking natural. Smokey tried to ignore those comments, but his actions showed he really cared about people's eyes. He focused on skincare more than ever. Spa sessions, massages, and more filler injections became habits alongside music. Despite changes on the face and within, Smokey's voice kept its familiar smoothness. At 80, he still performs live regularly, standing firm on stage with confident demeanor. The appearance rejuvenation seemed to add mental motivation, helping maintain performance energy in an industry always harsh with age. Many speculate that without those cosmetic interventions, Smokey's stage journey might have slowed. In a world where image and music tie tight, keeping a fitting look sometimes becomes the ticket to continue existing. For Smokey Robinson, this change wasn't just refreshing the face, but a way to extend career, keep his music ringing amid time's flow. His decision shows Behind the Glow are tough choices, where an artist must face age issues, competition pressure, and desire not to be left behind. Luckily, Smokey's choice brought good results, a refreshed face, boosted spirit, and an extended, durable music journey through the years. 6. Harry Belafonte, the folk icon who lifted his eyelids to keep an eternal gaze with time. Harry Belafonte is the renowned folk singer, artist with broad influence and persistent social activist, the guy holding icon status in cultural life for decades. Stepping into his 60s, Harry Belafonte still appeared regularly before the public, but time started leaving clear marks on his face. His eyelids gradually drooped, obscuring the gaze, affecting vision in performances and long social activities. Stage lights hitting the face no longer brought confidence like before, instead a building heavy feeling over months. Belafonte knew his body was changing. Aging came slow but showed blatantly right at the most important face point, the eyes. For someone tied lifelong to stage and community activities, keeping a fresh, energetic image wasn't just surface stuff. It was also a way to maintain influence, so the messages he pursued aren't dimmed by a tired look. On March 5, 1995, Belafonte made a decision few expected. He went into an eyelid lift surgery combined with fillers, a rare choice for his generation of artists. The procedure done quick with small incision through the eyelid, removing excess skin that's pulled down the gaze for years. Alongside, fillers injected into face areas hollowed by time, helping overall look fuller. Though relatively small intervention, recovery wasn't light. Eye area swollen, sensitive, forcing Belafonte to pause public activities for half a year. Long rest months only in bed, activities minimized to avoid frequent blinking, reduce complication risk. Each day passed long and tedious and boring wait. When swelling signs vanished, the change clear. Eyes opened wider, gaze bright and agile, no more weary feeling. Face fresher, healthier, but kept familiar contours. The rejuvenation subtle, enough to feel but hard to pinpoint specifically. Belafonte returned to social activities and stage with new energy. He continued appearing at big events, community advocacy, speaking before crowds without hindrance from tired eyes. Up to his 90s, his image still tied to calm demeanor and shining gaze. Face no longer clear, sagging signs, but didn't lose natural features. The 1995 surgery held big meaning in Harry Belafonte's journey, as it was a bold choice for his artist peers, but not a wrong one. One could say the timely intervention helped Belafonte maintain high activity intensity for decades after. Improving vision and look not only supported physically, but kept spirit solid, helping him continue appearing as icon without weary age, look dimming. 5. Germaine Jackson. The Jackson 5 member who completely transformed his face with nose lift, Botox, hairline tattoo, and fillers. Germaine Jackson is the core Jackson 5 member, solo singer, leaving deep music mark, owning hit series and icon status tied to a globally influential music family. But the issue started right from fame's peak, when stage lights not out and every appearance scrutinized to tiniest face detail. Germaine Jackson then entered entertainment with heavy pressure on every feature. Comparison unavoidable, especially next to the brother always seen as appearance and performance standard. Praise, criticism, chatter quietly built over years, seeping into confidence built from talent and family glow. July 12, 1985 became the first milestone when Germaine Jackson decided to intervene appearance with a nose lift. The initial goal sounded simple, just narrow nostrils about 20%, make face more harmonious on camera. Post-surgery result brought balance, enough for more mature feel. But in an environment where even pores magnified, that small change opened a completely different door. Time passed, music industry's harshness increased. Age started leaving marks, forehead appearing deep wrinkles, measured about 2 millimeters, each light hit making clearer. Alongside was early balding, hairline receding further, revealing fatigue after years continuous performing. Image pressure, then not just from outside, but from within, where confidence worn down, bit by bit. On September 8, 2008, Germaine Jackson entered a stronger intervention phase. No longer single surgery, he chose multiple methods combined. Botox injected to blur forehead wrinkles, deep 2 millimeters, making skin tighter, flatter when smiling and performing. Fillers used to keep face round, avoid haggard feel under stage lights, cruel to age. The peak of the change chain was hairline tattoo process. Over 5,000 natural ink points into scalp, creating sharp hairline, expanded about 3 centimeters, enough to fool vision from afar. On stage, hair looked thicker, helping overall appearance, clearly younger. Every public step, light sweeping head, no longer revealing worrisome gaps like before. However, this beauty improvement path wasn't smooth. First days post-intervention, pain lasted, scalp tight chafing, forehead aching dull, forcing Germaine Jackson to take high-dose painkillers and follow strict periodic checkups. Each wound water contact a complication risk face, with worry about appearance changing unwanted way. Patience became required, like how he was forced to practice nonstop to stand firm on stage from teen years. The final result brought mixed opinions. Some said new face felt artificial, lacking natural. But can't deny Germaine Jackson looked clearly younger, thicker hair, more confident demeanor performing in his 70s. Those jumps, way standing before audience, performance poise all showed a person not yielding to time. Looking back whole journey, Germaine Jackson's cosmetic surgery chain wasn't simply beauty story. It was consequence of decades-long pressure in a family where image and fame always weighed. Each intervention, a time he reclaimed appearance control, kept himself belonging to stage. Praise or criticism, can't deny those multiple surgeries contributed to boosting confidence, extending his presence in harsh music world, where one small face detail enough to make big difference. 4. Lionel Richie, the sweet-voiced singer who quietly edited to keep the immortal smile eternal. Lionel Richie is the singer with sweet voice, timeless hit series, and lasting influence in pop music, image tied to stages packed with audiences for decades. But trouble started when glow stayed too long and body no longer reacted quick like young days. On big stages where lights hit face straight, every small detail magnified. Lionel Richie realized eyes' once emotional highlight started losing natural openness. Eyelids drooped, creating heavy feel, making expressions, singing energy-rich familiar songs, sluggish, weary. Forehead wrinkles etched clear, each emotion poured into climax. So, October 15, 2012 became important mark. In his 60s, Lionel Richie chose discreet intervention. He went into surgery wanting to keep familiar look, just edit enough so stage image no longer betrayed emotion. Eyelid cut done by laser, small neat incision, focused on removing drooped lid about 2 millimeters. The number sounds modest, but under stage lights, difference showed very clear. After eyelid intervention, face rejuvenation continued with carefully calculated steps. Botox injected to blur wrinkles formed over years. Laugh lines deep about 1.5 centimeters handled carefully, enough to soften face without artificial feel. Fillers added to keep skin smooth, limit sagging common at this age. All happened quietly, small steps connecting over 5 hours, like subtle sound edit to keep music not offbeat. Recovery time didn't pass lightly. First days, eyelid area tight, discomfort spreading to forehead. Performance schedule forced to delay whole 3 months. Each mirror, look a balance check between fake youth and natural feel. Just one small imbalance, familiar image could turn strange. Throughout absence, Lionel Richie constantly denied all plastic surgery rumors. He emphasized healthy lifestyle, regular exercise, optimistic spirit. When he returned, public just saw inexplicably rejuvenated face and raised questions. But he just brushed off. That silence made guesses spread more. Some thought change from sophisticated cosmetic tech, some believed truly result of disciplined life control. Reality in between, where medical tech and habits together created new look. When he returned to stage, effect very clear. Eyes opened wider, gaze bright agile, helping emotion conveyed fully through expressions. Face fresh, making familiar ballads like filled with new energy. In his 70s, Lionel Richie still performs lively without any aging signs on face. Long shows no longer heavy challenge like before. Lionel Richie's cosmetic surgeries happened quietly, like how he protected decades-long career. Perhaps caution in each step helped keep fragile boundary between refresh and losing identity. It wasn't just appearance story, but effort to keep stage emotion full, so each voice raised, radiant eyes, still enough to hold thousands below. 3. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Hollywood superhero who liposuctioned and removed excess tissue in chest for perfect body. Dwayne Johnson is the top action star, Hollywood strength icon and renowned former wrestler who built career from brutal ring to big screen with flawless, muscled image. But one thing not everyone knows in career's most important transition, when ring lights gradually gave way to movie cameras. Dwayne Johnson not only brought wrestling fame, but carried pressure to redefine image. Dense shooting schedule, contracts back-to-back, each action scene demanding body fully before lens. And right then, a problem silently following him years started showing clear. Abnormal chest expansion, once hidden under wrestling gear, became unacceptable minus on big screen. Cause from prolonged hormone disorder from competing days, phase when steroids used to maintain strength. Over time, excess fat accumulated, gland tissue stubbornly developed, creating hard-to-control shape despite extreme training intensity. For someone tied to absolute strength icon, this slap straight to confidence. On May 20, 2005, Dwayne Johnson went into surgery with bold intent. He chose decisive solution. Surgery focused on rooting out problem. Liposuction tech applied, removing about 2 liters accumulated fat in chest area. Alongside, excess gland tissue completely cut to prevent recurrence. Over 6 hours, doctors made small incisions, cleverly placed underarm to minimize scars, maximize aesthetics for body, always under scrutinizing eyes. Post-recovery tense no less. Stepping out, EOR, chest area swollen tight, forcing temporary stop all high-intensity physical. 15 weeks bed rest became big challenge for constant mover. Seeing muscles temporarily deflate, losing body control feel, all piled into not small mental pressure. But this time, he knew he had to be patient. Back to gym, everything rebuilt from scratch. With simple light exercises, chest gradually showed contours, flat surface, no more overgrowth signs. Each session contributed to shaping body he deemed perfect. Under gym lights, new body reflected clear in mirror, stronger and neater than ever. Surgery effect revealed fully when back on screen. In action movies, especially big projects like Fast and Furious, Dwayne Johnson appeared shirtless, full confidence. Chest muscles, prominent blocks, balanced with shoulders, arms, creating superhero body fans adore. No more awkward feel, no more moments dodging camera angles. Some spotted sophisticated medical intervention traces, but Dwayne Johnson rarely speaks deep about this surgery. Anyway, can't deny cosmetic surgery effect on him. In his 50s, Dwayne Johnson's body still keeps amazing sharpness. No recurrent signs, no long complications. The 2005 surgery became foundation for image he's proud of decades. This wasn't just aesthetic surgery for beauty, but strategic step in journey, transforming from wrestler to global action icon, where each body detail contributes to deciding his screen status. 2. Kanye West music genius who liposuctioned whole body 4 liters, opening a tragic chain of painkiller dependence. Kanye West, also known as Ye, is the rapper, producer, and designer with strong influence, who many times redefined pop music and contemporary fashion with bold, different thinking. But alongside glow is piled pressure. Work piling, tense family life, dense performance, and public appearance schedule. On social media, chatter about his appearance started. Weight gain became mock topic, and for someone always wanting image control to every detail like Kanye, that feel extremely uncomfortable. Kanye West started self-pressuring. He didn't accept body change due to stress and time. In entertainment world, where each photo magnified, each shot can turn discussion topic, desire to keep perfect look increasingly obsessive. Cosmetic intervention idea gradually formed from there. April 25, 2016 marked bold decision. Kanye West did whole body liposuction, focused on waist, hips, belly. Surgery done with laser tech to melt fat even, limit lumps. About 4 liters excess fat removed in one go, number making many in industry startled. Alongside, ab contours carved deep, creating clear six-pack. Post-surgery, body reacted fiercely. Lasting pain, fatigue, and discomfort clung whole body in long days only bed lying. Painkillers became required to maintain sleep. At first just to get through post-op pain, but gradually dependence formed unknowingly. His body got used to meds, and mine too. Sleepless nights, mental instability appeared more frequent. By November 21, 2016, everything out of control. Kanye West hospitalized in exhaustion, direct consequence from opioid dependence used post-surgery. Aftermath came fast-heavy, turning beauty decision into fuse for health crisis. Performance plans interrupted. Flawless genius image started cracking before public eyes. When he returned, appearance change undeniable. Waist slim to about 33 inches, body balanced more, clothes fitting, stage image sharper than before. But behind that pretty shell was fierce body battle. Mental health became long-term issue. 2 years later, Kanye West dared public about 2016 lipo's dark side. He warned about painkiller abuse risk post-surgery, emphasizing that seemingly small decision pulled unforeseeable event chain. Then, without huge appearance pressure, maybe he wouldn't step this path. No one expected Kanye West's cosmetic surgery not only changed body, but opened unstable phase. Behind slim waist and neat image, his lesson on price paid when appearance becomes obsession. In world always demanding perfection. 1. Michael Jackson, the pop king who transformed through series of nose lifts, chin dimple creation, and implants. Michael Jackson is the pop king, global music icon who broke all record sales, shaped pop culture, and created performances with influence far beyond American stages. But dark side silently seeped when glow came too early too strong. From a boy in Jackson 5 lineup, Michael Jackson grew under tight lens watch. Every move followed. As teen years passed, child image no longer fit exploding artistic ambition, and nose break and dance rehearsal increased dissatisfaction with own appearance. Change pressure, not just from audience eyes, but from deep inner desire. Escape past shadow. On June 1st, 1979, Michael Jackson did first nose lift. This rhinoplasty to narrow bridge, make nose slimmer, more balanced on often close-up face. Initial result brought harmony, enough for more mature feel. But Michael Jackson not satisfied with just that change. As fame spread global, other face details continued scrutinized, and his appearance control desire grew bigger. Following years, series interventions done one after another. Michael Jackson added many rhinoplasties, gradually tweaking features he felt unsatisfied. Gradually, bridge became too thin, tip pointy, creating completely different look from initial image. Total nose surgeries accumulated over 10 in just 2 decades, a staggering number for anyone. Not stopping there, on August 15, 1986, he did chin dimple creation. Mentoplasty done by placing silicone implant, creating about 1.5 centimeter depth for chin through endoscopic incision in mouth cavity to avoid outer skin scars. This change made jawline sharper, helping face look more angular strong on big stages. But at same time, overall face started leaving initial natural contours, making audiences sometimes not recognize him. Over time, repeated intervention consequences gradually revealed. Nose became fragile, like glass heel, weak structure, forcing more repairs. Infections appeared, making recovery increasingly complex. Each edit not just for beauty, but to fix prior one's aftermath. The repeating surgery chain like endless whirl. Under stage lights, new face created strong visual effect. Face seemed austere rather than mature feel. This helped Michael Jackson build distinct persona beyond normal human frame. But it didn't fully positive. Controversies non-stop erupted. Public chattered, compared, even doubted his true identity. Very few understood Michael Jackson's appearance change as consequence of too big fame, global pressure, and continuous image rebirth desire. His surreal face became controversial icon, both supporting performance career, silently wearing health in lasting regret. Mental pressure built over years. Maintaining strange look plus physical complications finally pushed Michael Jackson into med dependence to control pain and treat insomnia. Up to June 25, 2009, his troubled journey closed with death from med overdose, leaving global fans shocked. Before the video closes, pause a bit and think about what you just watched. These 9 male stars had plastic surgery due to pressure, appearance obsession, not accepting their old image. If in their shoes, how would you choose? Would you embark on that irreversible path? Who surprised you most, and who made you think deepest? Leave a comment below. Share your honest thoughts on these unbelievable cosmetic surgeries. If you find this video bringing fresh view on celebrities' lives, don't forget to subscribe to not miss other backstage stories. Truths that'll make you rethink stars' glow in a completely different way.